Now on 4 News Now at 6, a Deer Park family says the criminal justice system let them down. Their search for answers in the death of their uncle.
An Arctic blast is on its way to the region, but first, look out for light snow on your morning commute in the First Alert forecast.
A new timeline for Camp Hope, when Spokane's mayor is expecting the camp to clear out. You're watching 4 News Now at 6. Outrage and a call for justice tonight over the murder of an 82-year-old man who lived near Deer Park. The body of Richard Purdy was found in his home the day after Christmas. Gary Alt, seen in this video, allegedly kicking and bear spraying 2 women in downtown Spokane.
It's just they just keep spitting them back out and into the public, and they're, part of their duty is to protect the community from career criminals.
Tonight, Purdy's family says they feel let down by the justice system. Good evening. I'm Kirsten O'Connor.
And I'm Aaron Luna. KXLY's Peter Choi spoke to his family, who believes Alt shouldn't have been on the streets in the first place. Peter.
Yeah, feelings of fear and frustration are what Purdy's cousin Michael Shaw talked to me about tonight. He says the Deer Park community is now more mindful of the need for public safety than ever before.
The whole town is just like shocked.
A victim's cousin, Michael Shaw, describes his uncle as a positive and kind person to everyone he knew. He says it's shocking that this random attack happened to someone he's so close to.
Like a day or two later, finally, name was released, and it was just shock. And it's sickening, that it would happen to him. It would happen to anybody.
Alt had an extensive crime history. The Washington Department of Corrections record shows from January 2015 to August of 2022. Alt had 14 felony convictions prior to his most recent arrest in December.
They just keep spitting them back out and into the public, and they're, part of their duty is to protect the community from career criminals. And I don't think they're doing that. They just spit them back out and keep running them through. I mean, how many's too many?
After Alt served 46 months in jail, he was back out on the streets, released on community supervision.
You're not going to expect anything different from him. Yeah. So the biggest factor, I think, is that he was out in public, and he should have been in jail.
He believes Alt's motivation was based on crime or passion. He's now calling for change in the criminal justice system so that this doesn't happen in other communities.
I just feel the need to speak for everybody that we need to be protected from these career criminals, and they need to be off the streets.
And 4 News Now reached out to the Spokane County Public Defender's Office for comments, and attorneys there declined to comment on the case. Live in studio, Peter Choi, 4 News Now.
Peter, thank you. Heads up, if you use the Geiger Grove Road exits from I-90, crews will shut down the eastbound off-ramp at 7 o'clock so they can install a new sign. When that's done, they'll shut down the westbound off-ramp for the same reason. For eastbound drivers, use the Medical Lake exit. For westbound, use the Garden Springs exit. Crews expect to have the work done in time for tomorrow morning's commute. We could be seeing some more snow tomorrow morning.
Yeah, just a little bit of snow can actually cause more crashes sometimes during the morning commute. Let's send it over to Chief Meteorologist Chris Crocker with your First Alert forecast.
Absolutely. We already have icy roads in spots, and we have fog around the region right now. Here's a look at the low clouds and fog. This is only going to be increasing as we head into the overnight as that freezes to the roadways, and then some light snow flurries starting very early tomorrow morning and through the morning commute. All of those things contributing to some very icy spots on the morning commute, and that can take you off guard, especially since we've had a fairly nice long period where the roads were in good shape. Temperatures right now, we're right at freezing in Spokane. It's 31 degrees in Coeur d'Alene, 20s in Colville, already 28 in Moscow and Pullman, and 34 in Lewiston. Right around the Spokane area, we're still above freezing in downtown Spokane, Spokane Valley, Liberty Lake. That's just allowing some melting on some of those roads. That will be refreezing quickly. Another hazard as you head out tomorrow morning. Meanwhile, this evening, expect temperatures to drop into the 20s, and we'll keep the low clouds and fog going. It gets a lot colder in the 7-day forecast. I'll tell you about some Arctic air on the way in just a few minutes. Aaron?
Chris, thank you. Take a look at these photos. A fire engulfed a house in Lewiston where one person is recovering from burns. Firefighters say that people heard an explosion and flames were shooting out of the house within minutes. Cause is under investigation. The house is a total loss.
Yeah, and take a look at this fire near Riverside State Park. It destroyed a shop, but firefighters were able to save a house from burning. Crews say thick black smoke that you can see in the video filled the air. Firefighters had to shut down Old Trails Road to bring in equipment to fight the fire and protect the house. Neighbors in the area reported hearing explosions, which may have come from propane tanks on the property. No one was hurt. The cause is under investigation.
A 20-year-old Spokane woman is facing charges of domestic terrorism, arson in the first degree, criminal damage in the second degree, and interference with government property. Atlanta police arrested Madeline Fiola when a protest in downtown Atlanta turned violent.
We're pulling up in U-Hauls, and they had the type of glass breaker that taps the window and the glass just automatically shatters. I was dumbfounded. I couldn't believe that this was happening here in America. It's almost like some third world country type stuff.
The Saturday protest started out peaceful. People were angry about a recent police shooting that left one man dead, but also over a planned police training facility. Police say it turned violent when a group in the crowd started to smash windows and attack police. 3 businesses had their windows broken out and a police car was set on fire.
The Spokane doctor accused of trying to hire a hitman on the dark web is scheduled to be sentenced tomorrow. In August, Dr. Ronald Ilg pleaded guilty to making threats using interstate commerce instead of going to trial for trying to use cryptocurrency to hire a hitman to assault one woman and kidnap and extort another. One of his would-be victims was his wife.
We've changed the design of KXLY.com. You'll be able to see more high-quality video, navigate the homepage easier, and see the forecast you need to plan your day on the homepage. To watch live newscasts and breaking digital coverage, click the Watch Now button. It's at the top of the page. You can check out the new and improved website, KXLY.com, right now. Coming up on 4 News Now at 6, COVID precautions are becoming more relaxed across the U.S. A new study worldwide shows pregnant women should remain vigilant.
Plus, staying warm is becoming unaffordable, and a new carbon tax is making it even worse. Hear from one woman trying to get by with the rising costs after the break.
Four News Now on your time with Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
Save your green! 4 News Now and STCU are recognizing volunteers who make a difference in our community. Today we honor Michelle Grove.
As a volunteer board member, Michelle works tirelessly to ensure STIX diabetes programs can serve children now and for years to come.
It's a volunteer job, but it's so worth every minute we can put into it.
Michelle's been a volunteer with the STIX program for 7 years. Its mission is to help minimize the impact of diabetes for children and their families. Thanks to STCU for helping make sure volunteers count.
At Move Fitness, our gyms are designed to keep you moving. From the energetic fun classes to our motivating trainers and state-of-the-art equipment, there's a reason we've been voted the #1 best gym year after year. And every day we come to work focused on you, our top priority, giving you the cleanest facilities for your workout goals. Come on, let's work out. Move Fitness.
Everyone loves winter fun, and you can take it even farther in a Honda. Experience the season's joys and conquer its challenges with Snow Mode, standard on all Honda SUVs and truck. Because no matter how tough winter gets, you can still have fun driving it. Honda, Kelley Blue Book's KBB.com best overall brand for 2022. Buy online, reserve from select dealers, or visit your local Honda dealer today.
Cold winter weather's here, so why feel it inside your own home and in your wallet? USA Insulation's premium injection foam fills every crevice of your walls, even going over your existing inferior insulation. Our foam gives you high-tech comfort and saves you money on utility bills year-round. So stop bundling up and start building savings. Call now and get up to a 30% tax credit and low monthly payments.
USA Insulation.
STA is a great place to work for a few different reasons. There are definitely a lot of opportunities here at STA, no matter where you start at. There's always opportunities for advancement, things to help you move from one position to the next.
All the departments here, paratransit, fixed route, we all work together to help the community, and that's why I like to work here.
Price of forever stamps, you know those ones, they never expire. Well, it went up 3 cents, now costing 63 cents. The U.S. Postal Service announced the increase back in October. Other types of shipping also went up. First-class mail is just over 4% more expensive. 1-ounce metered mail now costs 60 cents, and domestic postcards are 48 cents. Well, speaking of prices going up, there's uncertainty for some people because of a new carbon tax law that went into effect January 1st. The law is not a gas tax, but a fee companies who produce CO2 emissions have to pay.
That cost may be passed down to you, the consumer, costing you more for heating oil, natural gas, propane, and at the pump. Our Vanessa Perez explains how one woman is now trying to get by with the rising costs.
This heating oil tank is half full. The owner tells me she's using every drop sparingly because she can't afford the cost.
March of 1993 was 80 cents a gallon. Can you believe it's gone up that much in 30 years?
Jane Bush is retired and living on a fixed income. Her home was built in the early 90s and she has relied on heating oil ever since. She says keeping it filled is now a challenge.
If I were to heat this whole house with just my furnace, it would now run me over $3,000 per season, and I'm taking November, December, January, and February.
She blames rising fuel costs, state tax, and a new carbon tax law. Companies who produce CO2 emissions have to pay the fee. It's being passed down to consumers.
That 90 gallons back in November filled my tank.
Bush says she was told by fuel suppliers they're charging 50 to 80 cents more a gallon.
With these prices being so out of range, ridiculously high, what we can resort to doing.
She's using space heaters around her home, but that's only doubled her electric bill.
Can't rely on them to keep the house warm when we have these Arctic chills that come in. We get this single digit below zero, around zero. These heaters can't keep up with that.
While the law took effect January 1st, people won't find out the actual cost of the tax until it's released by the Department of Ecology at the end of February. So companies are left playing the guessing game.
So people are really flying blind. They're really caught off guard. And so the combination of that uncertainty and the big price increases, I think, is causing a lot of people problems.
Meyer says there could be some uncertainty for some time. He encourages people to reach out to their legislators, as people like Bush hope the rising costs come down. Reporting in Spokane, Vanessa Perez, 4 News Now.
I wish I had better news for Jan, but we have more cold air coming tomorrow. Temperatures running below average, 31 for a high. Our average high is 35, but it gets a lot colder in the 7-day forecast. I'll have that after the break.
Sign up for breaking news alerts with the 4 News Now app.
4 News Now is brought to you by Falco's. The Spokane Ag Show returns to the Spokane Convention Center February 7th through the 9th. This exciting 3-day event features ag industry vendors, recertification courses, and informative seminars. Returning speakers include weatherman Art Douglas and WSU ag economist Randy Fortenberry. Park free at the Spokane Arena with free shuttle buses to and from the convention center. Visit agshow.org for detailed information and online ticket purchase. Meet, learn, and grow at the 2023 Spokane Ag Show.
Ironstone Furniture and Fire is making room for new inventory. For a limited time, you can create your ideal space and save on in-stock selections. Sofas, chairs, tables, and more. Comfortable and beautiful furniture makes a house feel like home. Visit our showroom, Ironstone Furniture and Fire in Coeur d'Alene.
Country Homes Power, Spokane's #1 source for top-rated fireplaces and barbecues, is clearing out last year's inventory with discounts on gas, wood, and pellet stoves. It's the best time to get the fireplace or barbecue you have always wanted. Get to Country Homes Power today.
The other day, a hornet's nest fell on my head. It's not ideal, but we'll manage. Just like I manage without home internet. Sure, I wish this hotspot was a lot faster, but my phone works. Sometimes. It's not that bad. Ew.
It is that bad. Don't settle. Get Xfinity Home Internet for just $19.99 a month for 1 year with a free streaming box. Call, click, or visit a store today.
Where will your new Chevy take you this year? Anywhere. Find new experiences. Find new roads. Well-qualified buyers get 2.99% financing on all Equinox models or get $1,000 cash allowance on all 2023 Equinox models. Plus, current competitive owners get an additional $750 cash allowance.
Breaking news tonight, there's a crash blocking one lane of I-90 heading east at Pines and Highway 27. That's in Spokane Valley. The Washington Department of Transportation says drivers should use caution and expect delays in that area.
Plan for some extra time for tomorrow morning's commute and easy going. We have some freezing fog tonight. Here are 4 things to know about your weather. Snow flurries through Tuesday afternoon, off and on. But boy, that little bit of snow can really cause some problems on the roads. Measurable snow possible on Friday into Saturday. Right now, I think we're looking in the 1 to 3 inch range, but there's still some uncertainty there. And then it gets really cold next week. I'll show you the numbers in just a minute. Right now, it's 31 and cloudy in Coeur d'Alene. Currently 32 degrees here in downtown Spokane with overcast conditions. 26 for an overnight low tonight with areas of patchy freezing fog. That fog is already beginning to develop. 31 for a high tomorrow. Snow flurries through the afternoon. Then we'll get a little bit of break and then another chance tomorrow night. Here's a broad view on our forecast. We have a ridge of high pressure, but we are right on the eastern flank of that ridge. That puts us in a northwesterly flow, bringing in the cooler air and a weak disturbance that will ripple through that northwesterly flow early tomorrow morning, bringing the possibility of some very light snow flurries. Doesn't even show up on our forecast radar, but then otherwise high pressure is going to result in a tranquil next few days, but not necessarily a bright sunshiny next few days. We're going to be trapped in the low clouds and fog for the next little while before the next system moves in. Friday into Saturday. Overnight lows tonight will be down in the 20s around the region. Our high temperatures tomorrow in the 30s in Spokane and Coeur d'Alene, just barely up around freezing. A little bit warmer further to the south, 40 in Lewiston, 34 degrees tomorrow in Pullman as well as Ritzville, only 30 in Sandpoint and 32 in Bonners Ferry. Here's a look at your planning forecast. Tomorrow a high of 31, a little bit warmer for Wednesday and Thursday. That's about average with mostly cloudy skies and fog. Then we bring in that chance of snow Friday and into Saturday. The timing on this system is still a little bit of a question mark. We are fine-tuning that system and tracking this very closely, so we'll be keeping you updated throughout the week, both on KXOY.com and here. Once that system moves through, the Arctic air moves in. We're looking at high temperatures in the teens Sunday and Monday with overnight lows down in the low double digits and single digits as we get into next work week. Coming up in the next half hour, I'm looking out 8 to 14 days and it looks wintry. I'll let you know what to expect in the next half hour, Aaron.
Thank you, Chris. For many families, 2022 turned out to be a year of triumph and success after overcoming life-altering health problems. Emily Bloom gives us a look back at some of the most touching moments we shared over the past 12 months in this Miracle Monday story.
The wins we're about to see may have been much tougher to reach if not for the world-class team of providers at Sacred Heart Children's Hospital and the top-notch technology that makes that treatment possible. For many, it's the Children's Miracle Network that has made all the difference in the world.
after the fact how impacted we actually were by the Children's Miracle Network. Now that we've learned more and more, kind of being on the other side, it's evident what a force that is.
It's been over 4 years, but today, Mike and Karina Kelsey are still feeling thankful for the care their baby boys received through Sacred Heart's NICU.
Every time we drive on the freeway and pass the hospital, we wave to the babies and to the nurses and doctors in the hospital, just to kind of remind the boys that that's where their journey started, and again, just so grateful for that care.
Jack and Leah made an early entrance to our world after being delivered at 29 weeks.
We are both runners, so we tried to think of it as kind of like running a marathon, where we knew that we kind of just had to stay in the moment and stay in the mile.
Today, they're thriving thanks to care and encouragement just like this.
Hey, let's not worry about survive. We've done all that. Let's thrive.
Dr. Carl Garabedian says at a certain point, it's important for kids to just be kids.
The more that they normalize their lives and the more that they act normal, the better they're going to do long term.
That's a message the Chapman family learned early on.
You can't live in a bubble, and we have to, make the most of every day.
They manage everyday life, camping included, around their son's cystic fibrosis treatments.
It feels like it's like vibrating my whole body, and it's like
Yeah. Does it hurt you?
No, it doesn't hurt. It just kind of tickles.
Yeah.
Finn's health is always top of mind, but they're learning the importance of prioritizing their own health as well.
More and more they're checking in on the families as well, because if you think about, we are the caregivers, but if we are not healthy mentally or physically, we're probably not giving the best care that we could to this guy who needs it.
The physicians at Sacred Heart work to give kids with a life-limiting disease the opportunity to look forward to college, marriage, and kids of their own.
I have been working with them on a one-person research study.
Treatment is essential, but lessons on prevention go a long way too.
We have a motto with Stitch. It's use your head to protect your brain.
Stitch is the face of a growing team that visits 4th grade classrooms to teach the value in wearing a helmet.
When a child falls off a bike and they hit their head and they're not wearing a helmet, they'll get a crack in their skull, like you crack an egg.
And from musical therapy
makes every day a little easier
to marathon miles.
Be more active and not just laying in bed all day.
These campaigns in the hospital are creating all kinds of smiles.
If you'd like to support the Children's Miracle Network, you can find the donation page under this story on KXLY.com. 100% of your donation stays right here in our own community. Reporting in studio, Emily Bloom, 4 News Now.
Coming up on 4 News Now, women with dense breast tissue are 4 times more likely to get breast cancer. We'll tell you why some women don't know they're at risk. And the state of abortion rights in the U.S. as supporters and protesters rally across the country.
Download the 4 News Now app today.
Let's wave the flag together. Hello, I'm Mark Peterson with 4 News Now, presenting the Great American Flag Swap. Bring your old tattered flag to Dave Smith in Kellogg, Idaho on January 25th, and in exchange, you'll receive a new American-made flag from Uncle Sam's Flag and Gift.
Dave Smith Motors has been serving the local community for over 50 years, and we're proud to support the Great American Flag Swap. If you've visited our dealership in the Silver Valley, you know how much we value our country and its national symbol of freedom. Dave Smith Motors, honoring our veterans and all who serve.
You want to know why I call South Carolina home? Come on, take a road trip with me. When you look around, you can really get a sense of why I love my home state. From the beaches all the way up to the beautiful mountains, South Carolina's got awesome scenery, cool cities, rich culture, and super friendly people. Of course, the best thing you can do is come down to South Carolina and find your own favorite places. Come see why I love this place.
When I was told I had a brain tumor, my life disappeared in a moment. I feared for my future, but even more, I feared for the ones I love. How would they move on without me? But when my doctor told me about the Gamma Knife of Spokane, everything changed. I can get my brain tumor treated in just 1 day and continue living the life I love. Because of Gamma Knife, I have hope.
Hello, I'm Lloyd Herman.
If you need legal assistance due to an accident or an injury, put my 40 years of experience of dealing with the insurance companies to work for you. You'll have an appointment to speak to me within 48 hours. Lloyd Herman and Associates, 922-6600.
The boats are back. It's time to have fun. It's a live, in-person show, 4 big days from Thursday through Sunday, January 26th to the 29th at the Spokane County Fair and Expo Center. Summer fun on the water is just around the corner, so bring the whole family. That's right, it's back, live and in person. From big to small, you'll see it all at the 2023 Spokane Boat Show. The boats are back. Learn more at SpokaneBoatShow.com.
92.9 CCU. CCU.
4 News Now is brought to you by the Cal Superstore in Airway Heights.
Women's March protests span nationwide on the 50th anniversary of the Roe v. Wade decision over the weekend. And while the U.S. Supreme Court removed the constitutional right to terminate a pregnancy last year, the Biden White House says it is taking action to make sure women have access to abortion. Abortion is currently legal in about 24 states and banned or severely restricted in 13 others. That's according to the Guttmacher Institute of Reproductive Rights. The remaining states are either in limbo or legal with restrictions under 20 weeks of pregnancy. Both advocates for abortion rights and anti-abortion activists rallied in D.C.
This land is my land, not yours or anyone else's to tell me what to do with it. And my body is my land, and I should be able to make the decisions that don't impact anyone else other than myself.
I think if I can change one person's life, if I can have a conversation, make a personal connection with one person who disagrees with me, I think I've been heard.
Vice President Kamala Harris called on Congress to pass federal protections on the matter, but any potential pro-abortion rights legislation is not likely to pass through the GOP-led House of Representatives. According to a new study, women with dense breast tissue are up to 4 times more likely to get breast cancer. Dense breast tissue is normal and found in about half of women. However, the extra tissue can make tumors harder to see on mammograms. Washington is one of 38 states that require mammogram facilities to notify patients in writing if dense breast tissue is found. That way, patients can talk to their doctors more about potential breast cancer risk factors.
Well, more of us are relaxing precaution with COVID, but a new worldwide study now shows pregnant women should remain vigilant. Researchers with the University of Washington's medical school joined Oxford University in a study on COVID during pregnancy. Experts say they found women who were not only vaccinated but boosted for Omicron were 76% less likely to develop complications to the virus if they got sick. In the state of Washington, only about 29% of pregnant women have received the latest COVID booster.
One misconception during pregnancy is that having been vaccinated, you are now protected. But in point of fact, our data would demonstrate that the booster adds additional protection.
UW Medical School will be involved in another upcoming study. This one will focus on mothers and babies who got COVID vaccines and those who did not. The FDA says it wants to simplify how Americans stay up to date on COVID-19 booster vaccinations, saying it wants the process to be more like getting a flu shot. That would mean assessing what COVID strands are circulating in June and then preparing a dose for the fall. The agency says the plan is to create a single annual shot to bolster immunity for most people, but those with certain risk factors might need 2.
Pancreatic cancer, frequently diagnosed at end stage, is often called the silent killer. Well, now a new blood test may be able to rule out pancreatic cancer for some people. With the addition of this new blood test to existing guidelines, clinicians may be able to rule out cancer 96% of the time.
Coming up on 4 News Now at 6:30, a former Gonzaga basketball player is heading back to the West Coast. And after the break, how soon the Spokane mayor expects Camp Hope to clear out.
Stream 4 News Now on your TV for free with the KXLY Plus app.
Hi, I'm Chris with Clark's Tire and Automotive. Right now is the best time to get your vehicle in to get it checked over. Come on in for a free winter inspection. We're going to check your brakes, shocks, struts, tires, air filter, wiper blades, and your heating and cooling system to make sure you're winter ready. If you can't make it into one of our shops, give us a call. We now have a mobile service. We offer a 2-year, 24,000-mile parts and labor warranty. We support our local law enforcement, our schools, our nurses and doctors, and we're here to support you. Come and try us out. We are a friendly neighborhood service repair center.
Injured in a car, truck, or motorcycle wreck? Call Russell & Hill, attorneys at law, where real people with real injuries get real results. Injured in a car, truck, or motorcycle wreck? Get real results. Get Russell & Hill.
Who will be nominated? Now tomorrow, live on GMA. The Oscar nominations are revealed. No one does Oscar like Good Morning America. Tomorrow morning on ABC.
It's back. If the Gonzaga men's basketball team wins the 2023 National Championship, Bill's Heating and Air Conditioning will refund all eligible equipment purchased from Bill's Heating and Air between January 15th and March 15th. Yes, you heard that right. So call today and get your new instant hot water tank, furnace, or AC unit. Treat yourself to heated floors or many of the other products we offer at Bill's Heating and Air Conditioning. Terms and conditions apply. Go to callbillsheating.com for more.
Next, DT.
I missed you.
Inside Lisa Marie Presley's emotional memorial. We're at Graceland for her final farewell. Plus,
This country girl still prays.
our Winona Judd exclusive, talking life after loss.
That's the hardest part.
And headed back out on tour.
The music is first and foremost. I do it because I have to. It's like prayer.
Next, DT.
Watch 4 News Now at 6 and Entertainment Tonight at 7:30. Live from downtown Spokane, this is 4 News Now at 6:30.
Well, the size of Camp Hope has dropped dramatically in the last 5 months. At one point, more than 600 people were living there. Tonight, 138 people remain. It's been a long back and forth battle to determine the best path forward to clear the camp. The city has goals of clearing it this year.
KXLY's Jordan Smith spoke with Mayor Nadine Woodward about this, and he joins us live from Camp Hope tonight with more on what to expect in the coming months. Jordan?
Aaron, Kirsten, good evening. And as you mentioned, there has never been a simple solution when it came to clearing out Camp Hope. At one point, over 600 people called this their home over the summer. I spoke with Mayor Nadine Woodward, who tells me she plans to decommission this camp by the end of this year.
Do you foresee this being decommissioned by the end of this year?
Oh, absolutely.
Mayor Nadine Woodward is highly confident that Camp Hope is nearing an end. At one point, it was the state's largest homeless encampment. Its population now down 75% from last summer. Not only are there less people, but there's less trash. Over 24 tons of garbage have been removed from the site. Still, though, there's work to be done.
The latest count that we just received was right around 138.
The city remains firm that they have the beds available for those left at the camp. But removing them from the washed-out property has proven problematic. The city is battling a lawsuit filed by residents of the camp, along with Jules Helping Hands, arguing the city has overstepped in their attempts to clear Camp Hope. The major precedent at play here is known as Martin v. Boise. In very simple terms, that ruling deemed it unconstitutional to arrest a person for sleeping on the sidewalk or on the streets if there weren't any shelter beds available. A ruling Mayor Woodward would love the courts to take another look at.
I would love the U.S. Supreme Court to take that issue up. I mean, it's a huge ruling with enormous impacts for 9 western states.
In a recent federal filing, the city is arguing that precedent doesn't apply to Camp Hope. Despite broad claims by former Sheriff Ozzie Kanizovic threatening to arrest those who remained at the camp after all other options were exhausted, newly elected Sheriff John Knowles says he has no intention to, quote, sweep the camp, but rather work with WSDOT and the Attorney General's office to reach a solution. And in the meantime, Mayor Woodward tells me that there is a dire need to find permanent housing, especially for those experiencing homelessness. And while there is funding being rapidly approved for some of these multifamily projects, we're still years out from those being completed. Reporting from Camp Hope tonight, I'm Jordan Smith, 4 News Now.
Live look over the Spokane Veterans Memorial Arena this evening of a clear view of the courthouse and a good portion of the region, but the fog is developing, and that is going to change, and that fog will be freezing to the roadways as we get into tomorrow morning. That will make for a slick commute. Here's a look at our live radar and satellite right now. We have a northwesterly flow over the region, keeping things cool. A disturbance will move through that flow in the early morning hours, bringing the possibility of some very light snow flurries to the area, and the timing is not great, from right before the morning commute through the early afternoon. So if you are heading out tomorrow morning, keep an eye on the streets for untreated roads and very icy spots. Temperatures right now below freezing in many locations, including Coeur d'Alene, St. Mary's, Moscow, and Pullman. It's 32 right now in Spokane. Right around the Spokane area, we're above freezing in Liberty Lake, Spokane Valley, and in downtown. However, any wet roads will be refreezing. And so again, slick roads tomorrow, and we are looking at a high temperature of only 31 degrees. Possible snow flurries for the first part of the day. Much colder weather on the way, and good dose of winter as we head into the beginning of February. I'm looking at the long-range outlook in just a few minutes.
Thanks, Chris. Gonzaga's ranking took a hit this week. Welcome into sports. I'm Julian Middensome. The Bulldogs dropped to number 14 in the latest AP poll following the loss to LMU last week. The Bulldogs defeated Pacific over the weekend, so that's a step in the right direction. But the Zags are now a projected 3 seed in the NCAA tournament, according to ESPN's bracketology. Gonzaga will take on Portland at 7 o'clock on Saturday night on the road. And the Bulldogs beat the Pilots by 40 points earlier this month at home. A Gonzaga fan favorite has found a new home. Former Gonzaga basketball player Rui Hachimura has been traded to the Los Angeles Lakers to play alongside NBA superstar LeBron James. The Lakers sent guard Kendrick Nunn and 3 second-round draft picks to the Washington Wizards in exchange for Hachimura. Hachimura was the 9th pick of the 2019 NBA draft after leaving Gonzaga following his junior season. Hachimura was an All-American and West Coast Conference Player of the Year during his time in Spokane. Here is a look at what Hachimura will look like in the purple and gold next to his new teammates LeBron James and Anthony Davis. NBA Hall of Famer Magic Johnson also had high praise for Hachimura. Johnson called Hachimura long, athletic, and smart. Hachimura will not play in the Lakers game against the Clippers tomorrow, so his first opportunity to play for his new team will be Wednesday against the San Antonio Spurs. Despite winning 12 games in a row, the Gonzaga women's basketball team dropped a spot to number 17 in this week's AP rankings. Gonzaga will host Loyola Marymount at 6 o'clock on Thursday. The Bulldogs defeated LMU by 45 points in December. And one of the cornerstone players of Washington State's defense is trying his luck at the next level. Cougars defensive back Armani Marsh declared for the NFL draft. Marsh is a 2-time All-Pac-12 honorable mention who started in 31 games during his career at WSU. Marsh is also a Spokane native. He won a state championship at Gonzaga Prep during his junior year in high school. Draft Tech listed Marsh as a top 300 NFL prospect. The NFL draft will be April 27th to the 29th in Kansas City. And Post Falls High School's Anastasia Peters has been named the Gatorade Idaho Girls Cross Country Player of the Year. Peters was a 5A state champion this past season. The award also recognizes academic excellence, and Peters has that. She posted a 4.11 GPA. So congrats to Anastasia. There's also a huge basketball event happening in Spokane tonight. We'll have that story tonight on Nightside. That'll wrap us up for sports.
Julian, thank you. More classified items were found in President Biden's Delaware home this weekend. The FBI searched the home for almost 13 hours, discovering 6 items consisting of classified records dating back to his time as a U.S. senator as well as vice president. Critics question why the multiple prior searches Biden's legal team conducted hadn't uncovered these new classified documents.
should put to bed whether or not President Biden's attorneys either know actually the extent of his irresponsibility or they're not being truthful with the DOJ.
It diminishes the stature of any person who is in possession of it, because it's not supposed to happen. The elected official bears ultimate responsibility.
Despite the new discovery, the White House still says they take the handling of classified materials very seriously and are fully cooperating with the Justice Department.
A jury in Washington, D.C. has found 4 more members of the far-right militia group Oath Keepers guilty of charges related to the January 6th attack on the U.S. Capitol. The convictions are another win for the Justice Department that brought the rare charge of seditious conspiracy against members of the Oath Keepers last year. The group's founder, Stuart Rhodes, and 4 other Oath Keepers members were found guilty in a separate trial last fall.
Coming up on 4 News Now, flowers lay outside the California dance hall where a mass shooting killed 11 people. We hear from survivors and the victims' families ahead.
Sign up for breaking news alerts with the 4 News Now app.
4 News Now is brought to you by Coeur d'Alene Casino Resort Hotel.
Idaho is growing, but let's not just grow larger.
Let's grow smarter.
After high school, college, or university,
Idaho public colleges and universities have the 6th lowest costs of all states.
And higher education means higher incomes.
More opportunities.
A better life for you.
For us.
For Idaho.
For Idaho.
Visit educationforidaho.org to learn more.
It's Falco's biggest end-of-season closeout sale ever. EnviroFire wood, gas, and pellet-burning fireplaces are in stock and on sale. Display and demo models with over $1,000 in savings. Don't wait until next season. Get the best deal of the year now at Falco's. EnviroFire fireplaces are in stock and installation appointments are available today. Ask about special financing and clean air discounts, too. Falco's EnviroFire closeout sale on now. 9310 East Sprague, Spokane Valley.
Anytime I hear Madonna's name, immediately I think of you. So
really? Same.
Next live, Josh Duhamel and Brianne Howie.
Watch live tomorrow at 9, right after GMA.
While you're sleeping tonight, the Good Morning Northwest team will be gathering the information you need to start your day off right.
Plus, a blood drive to save lives inspired by a special Spokane Marine. His story tomorrow on Good Morning Northwest.
It's the final days of the epic sell-off at Furniture Row. And when we say it's epic, we mean epic. Shop today and find everything on sale. That means epic savings on sofas, sectionals, and accent chairs. Epic markdowns on dining groups, tables, and bar stools. Epic deals on bed sets, dressers, mattresses, and adjustable bases. Plus, get 3 years, no interest financing. Epic styles, epic selection. All with epic savings. Find them today at Furniture Row. But hurry, sale ends soon.
The 5 germiest spots in your kitchen. Next, Inside Edition.
They're very, very dirty.
Wait till you hear what's number 1.
It is the most dangerous.
Then, Inside Edition's Lisa Guerrero. Before she chased down bad guys.
Isn't that illegal?
The painful secret she's kept for 20 years from when she was on Monday Night Football. Warrior Lisa. Watch the next Inside Edition.
Watch 4 News Now at 6 and Inside Edition at 7.
Other than a few snow flurries tomorrow morning and afternoon, a fairly quiet weather pattern for the next few days with high pressure and control. That will begin to change on Thursday night. I'm going to do our long-range forecast starting off Thursday at 2 o'clock. We're in that northwesterly flow on the eastern edge of a ridge of high pressure. We bring in a little bit of snow as we get into Friday morning. Here's 4:02 in the morning on Friday with light snow falling across the region. Friday morning's commute, I would circle that one on your calendar as one you may want to leave some additional time for, or maybe move your errands to Thursday. Then as we get into Friday during the day, that snow will continue with a little bit of a break Friday evening. More light snow possible on a hit and miss basis through the day on Saturday. And then we are in for a more prolonged break. However, as we get into Sunday, we start to see those upper level winds coming more directly from the north, and we're going to bring in some modified Arctic air for the the second half of the weekend and beyond. Here's a look at our temperature trend over the next 7 days. We'll be a little below average tomorrow thanks to the low clouds and fog. Close to average then for Wednesday, Thursday, Friday before we begin to have a big drop. So our snow comes in Friday into Saturday, and then the Arctic air right behind it. We're in the teens for highs on Sunday and Monday with overnight lows getting down into the single digits, and it looks like that trend will continue. Here is our temperatures for the last day of January through the first week of February, and most of the nation in the blues here indicating below average temperatures, but we're in that medium color blue indicating a fairly strong signal that we're going to be dealing with below average temperatures. Now, while it looks like it's going to start off dry, it may not continue in that manner. Here's a look at the precipitation for that first week in February and the last day of January. Above average precipitation, particularly Northern California and Southern Oregon, but we are in that little bit of a medium green, so at least a trend toward some snow. We're not done shoveling. We're not done with those white knuckle commutes. Here is your planning forecast. Tomorrow it's just a few flurries, but that is still an issue on the roads, particularly with the freezing fog and already icy conditions. A little bit of a warm up Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, but not even quite up to average. Then we bring in that snow that continues into Saturday. Then the cold air comes in. Dry at first, but don't count on that to continue. Again, winter's not over. Snow and cold in the forecast. Aaron.
Thank you, Chris. Hey, here's a look at ABC's primetime lineup tonight.
Download the 4 News Now app today.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
Life happens, and you can't always wait for 2-day free shipping. Instead, head to your local Ace hardware store, where we've got just what you need in stock right now. Our experts give you the knowledge and personal touch you can't find online. And when you need help fixing your broken screen, unclogging that drain, need an extra key made, or that hard-to-find nut or bolt, we're right around the corner with the helpful advice and products you need without the wait.
There's a new tax refund called the Working Families Tax Credit from the Washington State Department of Revenue. Those who qualify could get up to $1,200 back. Visit workingfamiliescredit.wa.gov.
I licked it, so now it's mine.
The Bachelor is back, and the drama starts night 1.
I don't want to know if you kissed. I'm here for him. Love makes you crazy.
The Bachelor, season premiere tonight on ABC and stream on Hulu.
She was looking so fly, thinking that style.
Where's the butler?
It's John Butler. Hate being judged by your name? So do we. At Consigned Furniture and Jewelry, we're not what you think. Our inventory is the best in the Northwest. Like this, and this, and this. Check out the most unique shopping experience in the universe.
Feel more connected to every fleeting moment. The Mazda CX-30 with available turbo engine. An IIHS Top Safety Pick Plus. More power for your pursuit.
Embrace every unexpected turn in the all-wheel drive Mazda CX-30. We have over 60 Mazdas in stock now at Foothills Mazda. Take yours home today or visit SpokaneMazda.com.
Did you know that Spokane Hyperbaric Center uses oxygen to reduce pain, inflammation, and swelling?
I didn't know that.
Did you know that hyperbaric oxygen therapy promotes new blood vessel growth, fights infection, and releases more stem cells from your bone marrow?
I didn't know that.
Would you like to know if Spokane Hyperbaric Center is the right choice for you? Go to hyperbarichope.com to find out.
Spokane Hyperbaric Center gave us hope. And now you know.
Good morning.
Rise and shine.
Watch Daytime's #1 duo, weekdays at 9 a.m.
Well, 2 students are dead and an employee is injured after a shooting at a school in Des Moines, Iowa. This happened this afternoon. Police say the violence was targeted, but the motive is unknown. 3 potential suspects are now in custody. The surviving victim is in the hospital. Flowers and a memorial lay outside the California Dance Hall, where a gunman opened fire, killing 10 people during a Lunar New Year celebration. Today, another person died in the hospital because of this shooting.
Investigators are working to pin down a motive. They say the suspect died from a self-inflicted gunshot wound, and we're learning more about the victims in the predominantly Chinese American community. ABC's Rena Roy has the latest from the scene.
65-year-old Mei Mei Nan loved going to Star Dance Studio in Monterey Park, California on weekends. But unfortunately, Saturday was her last dance.
She actually decided to leave early that night and come home to set up for Lunar New Year the next day. It's an event we were all looking forward to as a family, because we spent the past 3 weeks grieving for my grandmother.
Police say she was one of 11 killed when 72-year-old alleged gunman Hu Can Tran opened fire during a Lunar New Year celebration.
I heard the sound like a bullet.
Investigators searching the suspect's home to identify a motive. Law enforcement sources saying he had no known criminal history. Authorities now looking into a potential domestic violence scenario. Authorities say about 20 minutes after the massacre, the suspect entered a second dance hall in neighboring Alhambra. 26-year-old Brandon Say wrestling a semi-automatic assault pistol away from him before he could injure anyone else.
I realized I needed to get the weapon away from him, disarm him, or else everybody would have died.
SWAT teams surrounding the suspect in this white van on Sunday before police say he died of a self-inflicted gunshot wound. Tran appears to have been a professional truck driver for at least 20 years and a regular at both dance studios, according to a longtime acquaintance. The city has opened a crisis resource center to help people cope and offer any assistance they may need in moving forward. Rena Roy, ABC News, Monterey Park, California.
Well, since the summer launch of the 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline, some believe the new lifeline is transforming the crisis care system. Since the transition to the easier-to-remember 3-digit number, more than 300,000 calls, texts, and chats have come in each month. The average speed to answer calls decreased from an average of 3 minutes in December of 2021 to just 44 seconds this past December. That's according to the Lifeline's deputy director.
Been tremendous national dialogue, conversation, discussion about 988, about suicidal crises, mental health crises.
Health experts believe that's helped to reduce stigma and encouraged people to seek help. The Lifeline has also seen a lot of demand for a pilot program being tested that's aimed at LGBTQ+ community, where youth have the option of being connected with counselors specially trained in inclusive crisis care.
There's been a lot of demand and a lot of utilization of that service, which really speaks to what we've known all along, that there is a huge need in that population for access to care.
The 988 Lifeline already has a Spanish-speaking sub-network for callers, but this year there are plans to add Spanish access to care through chats and texts as well. There's also a pilot being tested with care specifically aimed at connecting with American Indians and Alaska Natives.
In Washington, the Native and Strong Crisis Lifeline is a suicide hotline ran by all-Native team designed to address issues specific to American Indians and Alaska Native people. According to the CDC, American Indian or Alaska Native people are disproportionately affected by suicide, and rates among this group consistently surpass those among all other racial and ethnic groups. It works as part of the 988 crisis line. Just dial the extension 4 and your call will be answered by a Native crisis counselor. For more information on the Native and Strong Crisis Lifeline, find this story on KXLY.com.
The music streaming service Spotify says it's cutting 6% of its global workforce, about 600 jobs, becoming yet another tech company forced to rethink its pandemic-era expansion as the economic outlook weakens. Over the past 3 months, Amazon, Google, Microsoft, and Facebook parent Meta have announced plans to cut more than 50,000 employees from their workforce.
Anyone interested in finding a new job may want to check out a job fair at Post Falls tomorrow. About 40 companies will be on hand looking to hire more than 100 people. The job fair, hosted by the Idaho Department of Labor, will start at 10 o'clock at the Post Falls Post Office on North Thornton Street.
Tax season is here, and while filing early can get you an earlier refund, the IRS stresses that you prioritize filing accurately. The past few tax seasons were riddled with staffing issues and delays because of the pandemic. This year, the IRS took additional steps to improve service. As part of the Inflation Reduction Act, the IRS hired more than 5,000 new telephone assisters and added more in-person staff to help support taxpayers. The IRS recommends several things for people to keep in mind for a smooth filing experience this year. For a look at those tips from the IRS, just see this story on KXLY.com.
Stream 4 News Now on your TV for free with the KXLY Plus app.
It's back. If the Gonzaga men's basketball team wins the 2023 National Championship, Bill's Heating and Air Conditioning will refund all eligible equipment purchased from Bill's Heating and Air between January 15th and March 15th. Yes, you heard that right. So call today and get your new instant hot water tank, furnace, or AC unit. Treat yourself to heated floors or many of the other products we offer at Bill's Heating and Air Conditioning. Terms and conditions apply. Go to callbillsheating.com for more.
January is Plinko Money Drop Month, and we're giving more people a chance to win more money. You can qualify all month long to win. We're making it rain cold, hard cash, baby. We'll also have lunch and dinner specials, spa specials, and room rate specials. Midweek rooms at the Kootenai Falls Lodge are $79. Weekends are $99. The only way to win at Plinko Money Drop is to play Plinko Money Drop. So call 888-YOU-ARE-LUCKY or visit KootenaiRiverInn.com.
Hey folks, Jay Uner here. Northwest Motorsport is celebrating 14 years of trucks, and more trucks. We also have new inventory every day. Come check out what's new at nwmsrocks.com/anniversary.
You may be eligible for a new tax refund called the Working Families Tax Credit from the Washington State Department of Revenue. Those who qualify could get up to $1,200 back. Visit workingfamiliescredit.wa.gov.
Coeur d'Alene Denture Clinic is locally owned and operated and has been providing personalized, comfortable, and satisfying care to our clients for over 30 years. Our licensed denturists are trained in the latest techniques in the construction, development, and preparatory work of a denture. Full dentures, implant attachments, repairs, fittings, adjustments, we do it all. Every denture is made to look as close as possible to your natural teeth. With our knowledge and friendly staff, competitive costs, and quality of service, you'll leave Coeur d'Alene Denture Clinic smiling.
4 News Now is brought to you by Washington Trust Bank.
Coming up tonight on Nightside, a crisis in Peru tonight where anti-government protests have shut down one of the country's most popular attractions and left tourists stranded.
And also coming up, a jury convicted the man who became famous for being photographed putting his feet up on then Speaker of the House Nancy Pelosi's desk during the January 6th riots.
Here are 4 things to know about your weather. Freezing fog tonight and then some snow flurries through tomorrow morning's commute right on into the afternoon. More snow possible on Friday, 1 to 3 inches right now. Cold next week, very cold next week. Kirsten.
Thank you, Chris. And hey, have you seen our new website? If you head over to KXLY.com right now, you'll see we have a new look. You'll be able to see more high-quality video and see the forecast, everything you need to plan your day right on the home page. Check out the new and improved 4 News Now website at KXLY.com.
Have you checked it out, Chris?
I have checked it out. It is very easy to navigate and find lots of video, and it's good. It is an improvement. I love it.
I immediately noticed the video. I was kind of yelling.
The video does seem a lot better.
It's much larger.
And you posted a video today already.
I have, yes. The youngins in the newsroom taught me how to do it.
Oh, I'm sure you showed them a trick or two.
No.
Sign up for breaking news alerts with the 4 News Now app. See breaking news in your area or have a story idea? Contact 4 News Now.